Could you please tell me the elevator pitch for Video Games Live?
Yeah, well, Video Games Live is all the greatest video game music of all time, played by a full symphony and choir. But what makes it really special and unique is that everything is completely synchronized to massive video screens, rock and roll lighting, special effects, stage show production, interactive elements with the crowd. So I kind of like to describe Video Games Live as having all of the power and emotion of a symphony orchestra, but combined with the energy and excitement of a rock concert, mixed together with all the cutting-edge visuals, interactivity, technology, and fun that video games provide. Ding! This is your floor. That was my elevator pitch, so you know.
Oh, very good. Okay. Well, how do you select which games to feature? You have a lot of classic games, but some modern games don't have the same catchy soundtracks from the old, NES days.
Well, I would disagree with that statement. I mean, God of War, Metal Gear Solid, Kingdom Hearts, Halo, Final Fantasy, Skyrim. Do I need to go on?
No, okay, you made your point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great soundtracks from the past as well. Mario, Zelda, Castlevania, Metroid, Tetris, Pokemon, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I mean, there's great stuff from the old and great stuff in the new and everything in between. So our well is really endless to draw from. I mean, just recently, I've created over 120 segments in Video Games Live. And, recently we've added things like Assassin's Creed 4 and Destiny, the new Bungie title that came out that was written not only by the Halo guys who wrote the Halo soundtrack, but Paul McCartney is now doing video game soundtracks. It's insane. And so, but we go to Facebook a lot and ask people. I have a running list of things that I always want to put in the show. Some of the things we're working on now, Katamari Damacy, Devil May Cry with Capcom, the Mana series, more Final Fantasy, more Mario, Earthbound. I mean, there's so many great stuff. Even though we have 120 segments, there'll never be enough, and we always do a new show every year. All new set list, all new shows. So we might keep a couple things here and there, some of the favorites, but always doing new stuff.
So how do you balance, the things that everyone's going to love? You have Zelda, the crowd goes wild, you have, Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. How do you find time for, the little indie games or the things that people might not, some people in the crowd are like, what the hell is this?
Oh, I mean, I think that's the part of the fun about Video Games Live is that you might not know every single thing in there, but as long as it's great music, we might turn you on to something else. I'll give you a couple examples. Journey is a soundtrack that, people love and have bought even though they don't even have a PlayStation. Beyond Good and Evil, Shadow of the Colossus, a game I worked on, Advent Rising. So, yeah, we don't just focus just on the AAA titles. I like to put at least one indie game there or one kind of curveball that people aren't expecting, but the hardcore gamers freak out about, like Shadow of the Colossus. And really, that's what this Kickstarter is about, too. We're doing things on it, our new album, things like Monkey Island, Beyond Good and Evil, Shadow of the Colossus, Street Fighter 2, Journey, things that you might not typically expect to hear on a video game compilation album, because we've covered all the Marios, Halos, Warcrafts, Final Fantasies on our first couple albums. So now we want to get really kind of specific and get really deep. The deep cuts, exactly.
Okay, so yeah, tell me about this Kickstarter. What is it for?
Yeah, it's for our third album, Video Games Live Level 3. And like I said, kind of the deep cuts that we're focusing on. We're going to record with a world-class symphony and a world-class recording studio, over 100 musicians. Plus, we're going to fly in the musicians, the actual game composers from all over the world, to also be a part of it and play on the soundtrack with the orchestra. But my whole big thing about this Kickstarter is really giving back, giving more value than what people are pledging. So the minimum value that you're getting back with each dollar pledge is at least quadruple, at least. So, like our $25 tier, we're giving you $125 worth of game music and things like that. So even at the lowest levels, like the $5 and $10 levels, you're getting hours of quality, very high quality studio recorded, symphony recorded video game music. So it's all about giving back. Now, at the higher levels, what I did is I called all my friends around the industry and I got them involved with, doing stuff like David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake. He'll record a 30-second personalized message for you in the voice of Solid Snake. Things like, how would you like a tour of Blizzard Entertainment? Lunch at Blizzard with all the Blizzard composers. I mean, these are some of the things that you can't even buy ever. I'm a big Tron fan, as you probably know, and so I'm good friends with the guy who created Tron, Steve Lisberger, and so he's agreed to hand sign our Tron light cycle blueprints. And so there's a lot of really cool, and of course signed sheet music from game composers all over the world, including how'd you like the sheet music to Castlevania signed by Kinuyo Yamashita, the original composer of Castlevania, or Akira Yamaoka, the composer and creator of Silent Hill, Habino-san, who's worked on Metal Gear Solid score and soundtrack. So, and of course Halo and all the Blizzard stuff and Monkey Island, and it goes on and on and on.
Wow, that's quite a Kickstarter.
It is.
So how long do you guys have?
It's ends September 13th. So hurry up and upload this. We have about 10 days left.
Sure, absolutely. So I have another question. You guys, at least when I've seen you in Vancouver, you're with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra. I assume you go. How do they react to this very different kind of concert goer than they're probably used to?
Yeah, whenever we play with a world-class symphony for the first time, and you have to understand, these people are, have been playing, Brahms and Mozart and Beethoven and Stravinsky and Tchaikovsky for like their whole lives, right? Very high art. And so whenever we play with a symphony for the first time, they're kind of a little apprehensive as they sit down in their chairs and they're like, Sonic the Hedgehog? The Legend of Zelda? What the hell is this? This isn't Stravinsky. But then once they play the music, when we rehearse for the first time and they play it all together, you can start to see their expressions change. They're kind of like looking around going, oh, okay, this is legitimate music. I'm not going to be sitting here all night going bleep, bloop, bleep, bloop, bloop, But then when the show happens and 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people are screaming and yelling and clapping and cheering like it's the second coming of Elvis Presley or the Beatles, then it's like by the end of the show, they're coming up to me at the end going, oh my God, when are you coming back? I've been playing oboe for 40 years and I've never heard a crowd like this. And to see such young people in the audience also warms their heart as well, because part of the reason I created Video Games Live was to help usher in a whole new generation of young people to appreciate a symphony, to appreciate the arts. And another reason why I created the show, the biggest reason, is I wanted to prove to the world how culturally significant and artistic video games have become. So everybody wins.
Yeah, so I got to say, over the last few years, how do you think this goal of showing the world how culturally significant video games are, how's that going?
Well, it's fantastic. I mean, in 2010, we did a huge PBS special. Now, PBS has done over 4,000 music specials over the last, 40 years, and we're ranked number 9 of all time. So, popular in popularity. So, I think that, is a big, big thing. We tour 40, 50 shows a year all over the world, from Dubai to China, from Malaysia to New Zealand, to Chile, Argentina, Peru, Brazil, and Mexico, to Scotland, Poland, Ireland, UK, Germany, you name it, Portugal, Spain. We've been there, all over Canada, of course, and the US. So, and everywhere we go, sold out shows, big crowds. So, music is universal, but I think it just goes to show you how popular video games are all over the world, and their music. I mean, we played Dubai in December in the Middle East, Video Games Live in the Middle East, and sold out show, 4,000 people, and we're going back the next 3 years. So, I think it says a lot about the video game industry.
And how often do you get requests for Earthworm Jim in the show?
A lot, I have an Earthworm Jim segment in the show. I'm always sketchy about putting my own material in the show, though. I never want it to seem like I'm trying to showcase my own material, but we do get a lot of people requesting it, so I do put it in there once in a while.